Yo, Matt Sapaula and I have become like best friends. Off the first phone call, we're like,
what? Did we just become best friends?
Yep. How many of you new to business are eagerly hoping that mom, dad, your BFFs will blow up your phone waiting to buy from you? I consider him the prospecting king.
through the grace of God, I was prospected. I was a cold market prospect. I remember literally praying, and I said, you just let me be successful. I will spend the rest of my life giving back. I went from being a 21-year-old broke college kid to making my first million by 29. The very first thing that I did was I called my mom, and I was so excited. And, the first words out of her mouth were, you're an idiot. Your mindset needs to be some will, some won't, so what next? Tell me yes, tell me no, but tell me quick because I gotta go. Thousands of lives were changed, all because of one bolder moment.
I've made more money with strangers than I ever have with friends and family. And lead programs are out there. I mean, you're going to run across those. Lead programs are nothing. Trust me, I know. I used to spend $15,000 a month on direct mail, dinner seminars, newspaper ads, all these different things just to get customers, just to get people to buy. But if I didn't know how to really prospect, turn those leads from prospects to appointments to sales, to new business partners, to potential employees, to potential referral sources. If I didn't have this skill, and you're going to learn this skill from this gentleman today, there's a saying out there, give a man a lead, he'll eat for a day. But teach him how to self-generate and get leads and prospect those leads and cultivate those leads. That entrepreneur will live forever. So that being said, I've got this gentleman on. I'm excited for him because of what he's doing in business today. Mr. Cesar Rodriguez, I consider him the prospecting king, okay? Prospecting king. According to his bio and the things I've seen in his video, he's exposed flaws in outdated old school sales techniques and processes that unintentionally trigger objections and skepticism. Have you ever done it with somebody? You're talking to somebody about your business. Is this this? Is this that? Is this this? They try to jump to conclusion. You know why? Because you're getting taught and using old school marketing techniques and prospecting techniques. Cesar's got advanced knowledge in persuasion, psychology, and neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, that leads to breakthroughs and quicker results. It's all over social media. So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the show, Mr. Cesar Rodriguez. What's going on, brother?
Yo, I appreciate you so much, man. Yo, it is so fun hanging out with this dude. For those of you that don't know him on a personal level, did we just become best friends? Absolutely. Because philosophically, there are very few leaders out there that have the type of mindset and the type of drive and just really have this very unique package that he brings to the table and to the marketplace, which is why he's been so blessed and so successful, and why all of you guys that follow him, love him to death. I saw him for probably like a day on Instagram and just was like, all right, this dude is awesome. Let's do this, man. My goal and my focus is to just elevate people and help them have breakthroughs and take their life and their businesses to the next level. In my journey, I've discovered some things that now I happily give back and share because once upon a time, I remember being in my small little apartment, just struggling. And I was building my business full time with cold market strangers, walking up to people. And I remember just like literally praying. I said, if you just let me be successful, I said, I will spend the rest of my life giving back and teaching people everything that I know. So I went from being a 21-year-old broke college kid to making my first million by 29. And the rest of my years have since been giving back and fulfilling that promise. So that's the reason why I'm here.
Come on, baby. By the way, if you guys are watching this, you're tuning in right now. This is Cesar Rodriguez, the prospecting king. For those of you who are sharing this video, we're going to select the person that shares this video the most, gets these 3 books from me to you. So Cesar, you started off, from Jersey, right? Now North Carolina. We're talking on the phone. Your journey as a teenager, because you're following a mentor. Talk to us real quick. Your transition from New Jersey down to North Carolina as a late teenager.
I grew up in New Jersey my whole life. I come from a family of 5, and my mom, she was a single mom. And even when my dad was present for my life, he wasn't really around. For that early childhood, I pretty much raised my little sister, so if you can imagine, me being 8 to 9 years older than her, coaching her soccer practices as the assistant coach. My mom's the head coach, so I've always been dad, but I wasn't a great student. When I applied for college, it was my senior year, and I was like, oh crap, I have a 1.9 GPA. Like, if I want to get into college, I should probably at least have a C average. So I applied to, a ton of schools. I only got accepted to 2. One of them took me, and it was in North Carolina, and I was so excited to be chosen. I just sight unseen, I was like, that's where I'm going.
Did you know anybody?
No, I knew nothing. I literally was just I was like, where is High Point, North Carolina? Okay. And honestly, Matt, they didn't even take me they took me as a probationary student where I had to go for the summer first. And then if I proved myself by getting a decent enough average GPA, I guess, during that summer session, then they would allow me to pay, the full tuition to go to school for 4 years. And then I discovered network marketing my senior year at 21.
Because compared to a traditional job, why didn't you just say, you know what, let me go to school 9 to 5, punch out, get my degree, get my diploma, whatever the case may be, get my certifications, get my education? Why did you choose network marketing as a first stab in business?
So I was totally going to choose that life in business. I went to school for sport management, was working at the mall at GNC because I was really into fitness and being in good shape and stuff. So I knew that. So I had that job, and I had an internship at a Coliseum. But through the grace of God, I was prospected while working at a mall. I was a cold market prospect, so it was around this time, 18 years ago. And I went to an event and I saw people making $30,000 a month, Matt, and I wanted to make $30,000 a year. And the testimonial that won me over, facts tell, stories sell, testimonial that won me over was a Vietnamese lady with broken English talking about how she just bought her mom a brand new minivan. Man, to buy my mom a car and to have it only be 1 month's income, the world that these people are living in is crazy. I need to figure out how to do what they're doing. And so that's how I discovered network marketing. I turned to the guy at that moment and I literally said, I'm in, let's do it.
I love it, man. That by the way, you're talking about the Vietnamese story. Reminds me of a Vietnamese infomercial I saw back in the 80s and 90s. His name was Tommy Vu. He's sitting on the boat. I got big bow. I got Pascal. I got big money. How come you can't do that? Come to my seminar. I love it. I think even in Living Color did a parody video. Bro, so let's dive into it, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you rank prospecting, right, as a skill set to start building a successful business?
Well, I would rate it as a 10. Think about it, right? What does everyone want? Everyone wants more people on the team, more customers. Well, where do those people come from? If there's not a foundation of you being able to have the ability to talk to someone and to quickly engage them, to get them interested in what you're doing, if you neglect that strength, then it will permeate throughout your entire business. You could get all the leads in the world coming to you on autopilot. You can buy leads like you've talked about, and all that stuff. But still, all prospecting is making a friend and steering the conversation into whatever direction that you want it to be in. And in our case, since we're entrepreneurs, business. And once you learn that skill, you will never be hungry. You will never be broke. I literally, and if we get more into the details of my story, I was able to literally write my own paychecks and not need a full-time job. So, okay, cool. I need an extra $1,000. I just need it this month. I need to talk to one more person a day.
What are some of if you were to say, okay, these are the top 3 things that all rookie entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, people just starting off in business and in sales, number of things that they do wrong and what they need to avoid and shore up before they implode their market before they even get a chance to really start?
Sure. So I can speak very well on this topic because when I first got started in network marketing, the very first thing that I did was I called my mom and I called her up and I was so excited to tell her that I was going to now get started in the direct sales network marketing industry. And, the first words out of her mouth were, "You're an idiot." This is what you want to do with your degree. And listen, for some of you, it may not be your mom. For some of you, it's your best friend. For some of you, it's your spouse, and it's that's where that expression comes. Those who you think will, won't. Yep. Those who you think won't, will. And the number one most supportive person in my life, my entire life, literally was like, no, you're an idiot. This is not a good idea. We spent 4 years trying to get this degree and this is what you want to do with it? How about the safety and security of a job? You want to throw all that away, all the studying, all the tuition, all for naught? Because literally I went to an event one day and was like, this is what I'm doing with my life. Last 4 years, I don't even care. I made some great friends, learned some stuff. This is it. This is the vehicle. So the first 100 people I talked to told me no. I know now, looking back, some of the things that I did wrong. The problem was I didn't have any posture. I didn't know what to say.
Posture. You guys take a note?
That's one of the biggest mistakes is people do not have posture. Posture, for those of you that don't know, is the way that I define it. My definition of posture is the position of strength or weakness that you're coming across in every encounter.
So is that a physical thing?
It is all of the above. Yeah, because your physiology affects your mindset. No one wants to jump on board a burning ship. Mm-hmm. Right? If your ship is sinking, right, and there's a hole in the hull, no one wants to jump on board of that. Here's a couple Caesarisms. Everything you chase will run away. Everything you run away from will chase you. Your mindset needs to be some will, some won't, so what next? Tell me yes, tell me no, but tell me quick because I gotta go. I'm going to achieve my dreams without you. This is the swagger that you walk around 24/7. It's like, look, apart from you and your vehicle, they will probably not live the life that you live or will live. Freedom, fulfillment. Most people will not get that apart from you. However, with you, they can. So you have to understand you are the prize. You are the gift giver.
But Cesar, you're 18, 20, 23 years old when you started this stuff. I'm thinking about, because I'm 45 today, I'm thinking about 20 years ago when I started business. How was it like for me when I was in my early 20s attempting to have posture because I wasn't very confident in what I was bringing?
And I understand. And this is the thing that I encountered too, because I have forever looked 10 years younger than I really am. You look young for your age too. So when I was 21, you better believe, I was probably looking like I was 18. And I didn't figure this out for a while. But the minute I did, I had all the same stories that everyone has. Oh, I'm too young. I don't, no one's going to take me seriously. How could I talk about a financial opportunity, which I know a lot of you guys have, because maybe you haven't made it yet. You just have to believe that one day that you will. One of the things that I did is I always had a ton of, once I discovered the importance of posture, I constantly worked at it. It's like a strength. You start playing with it. One of the things that I recommend doing is always oversteer. Always oversteer. Oversteer when you're trying something different. Oversteer on that habit. And then you find out where the real finish line is. Because the problem with most of us is that we're not being bold enough. If you're not bold enough, what's going to happen is you're not going to ask that question that would actually close them. One of the things that I did early on is to use myself as an advantage in my young age is instead of trying to act like I was the big deal, I would just defer to a third party and I would instead act like I was like the intern.
So see, sometimes people, in a prospecting process, people say, well, tell me more about it. And I've seen a lot of guys, for example, I got prospected. I love getting prospected, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
But I got prospected in Whole Foods, and the guy was skirting around telling me what the name of his company was.
What you have to understand is we live in a world of total transparency. You don't have to be afraid to hide the name of your company. What you just need to do is you need to be really good at giving it to them and then removing it from their brain immediately and then detracting and sidetracking to something else. One of the things that will make you lose posture is trying to be like, we're the fastest growing company. And sometimes when you go on that, it's like you're like on a marching band, like just doing this. And they're like, yo, why are you selling this thing so hard?
Got it.
So it's a thing. So the focus goes from the name to like, do I want to be a high net worth individual? That's where their brain goes because you painted this picture of imagination.
Cool.
All right, give me yours.
So Cesar, the name of our company is PHP Agency. We do insurance and retirement services, where guys like Oscar De La Hoya dropped us $10 million to grow and expand our firm, where people like Pat Riley, Billy Bean, Magic Johnson, and recently Kevin Hart came out to convention because they love what we're doing and helping people. Because what we're teaching people is what the wealthy know about money. We're just filtering that down to the multicultural middle class. Is that something either yourself or somebody that would be interested in? Because we have a fast track program to help the brand new person get started.
Wow. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Now, the thing that I would do.
What would you tweet?
So I would break that up by asking some type of question. Because if someone just says, what do you do? Right. And then you go like on too long of a monologue that has aspects of sales, then what ends up happening is the feeling that they have psychologically is like, okay, this person's pitching me. You give a statement and then you ask an answer obvious question where they're obviously going to be like, oh yeah, Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. Are you kidding me?
And for those of you that's watching this, listen, guys, I'm a co-owner of the company. I'm a 7-figure income earner, and I still need to work on my game. So there ain't no shame in my game to improve my game. Absolutely. Right? Otherwise, I'm lame. And somebody be calling somebody else's name.
Listen, guys, this is one of the biggest traits that you want in a leader. running. He just literally said he's the co-owner, and here he is taking advice, taking notes, showing you guys what real leadership is about right here. He's got a great book, Leadership Quotes and all that, but this is what the real ones do.
Cool, man. So another question I ask for you is, what we're teaching here, is this a teachable, learnable skill that repeated over and over again, just like anything else, the average person can start to become excellent and superior at doing?
Absolutely. And if you need any proof of that, you're looking at it. So let me take a few moments here to inspire some of you. I can remember the day where I recognized that I had to make a bold decision about my future. And I was sitting in an event. I'm in the back of the room and everyone's hand goes up except for mine.
Really?
But it was at that moment that I had to make a decision. There was a fork in the road. And the decision I made is, okay, am I going to do what everyone else does when times get tough and quit? Or am I going to lean into the wind and keep pushing forward and make a commitment to make myself one of the best whoever's done it? So I realized that prospecting was the number one thing that if I got good at, I could win.
Yes.
I said, listen, there's so many things. Look, there's two things, and I like to make this very easy for people. There are two things that you need to get good at. If you're good at these two things, everything else in between will kind of solve itself and figure itself out. Number one is prospecting. Number two is closing. Two things. If you get really good at getting lots of people's information and just, if you can get really good at filling your funnel, picture this funnel. You can get, like, most people's funnel looks like this. It's real skinny, right? They get a few people drip in, and then it's like maybe close it tight, maybe a few people come out. But if I could just get lots of people in, and then I could get really good about opening up that closing. So the lots of people that come in, actually do something and get in. If I could just get my funnel to go from here to open, that's prospecting, and then get that closing, then I could just have a freaking pipeline.
Oftentimes people go prospecting. Speaking of prospecting, in the public, people say, I'm going to go to the mall. I'm going to go prospecting. And personally for Cesar, that's something I've just individually for me, I've just never done. I've just never felt comfortable. However, if I'm going to the car wash,
you do it when you're out.
Yeah, if I'm at the dealership getting my oil changed.
Yeah,
I prospect as I go. That's just more natural to me. Is there anything right or wrong about that?
So number one, there's nothing wrong with that, and that is a thing that we teach. For those of you that don't have the luxury just having to be out of your house, which was the case with me, so for myself, it was a matter of survival. I had to train myself to be out of my house with the intent to prospect. And so I became a professional hangout artist. If you don't have enough appointments set for your week, if you're not doing enough presentations, then consider going out with the intent to prospect. If you want to be one of the greats, if you want to get to the point where people do not tell you no, where you can overcome any objection, where you can be a master of persuasion, and I'm here to tell you it is worth the ride. But the way to attain it is through all of this personal development we're doing, and to develop a skill and an ability to predict the future. I can play mental chess better than anyone that I'm talking to because I have gotten every objection that you could get and every variation that they could come. That comes from just being out there and hearing all of those objections and trying out different things. Because I had someone go, "What's the name of your company?" And then I said this, and they're like, and I was like, okay, so when someone says it like this, I don't reply back with that one again. And then I hope then I hope that I get that same objection again, so then I can try another angle. And then when that one works and I respond like that, I'm like, that was the one. And then I hope that I get that one again, so I could try it again and deliver it the same way. And I'm like, that worked again. Okay, let's try it again. I got that objection. It worked again. That's the one. I want you to shift your mind for a moment and stop thinking about the rejection that you're going to get as a bad thing, the no's and all that type of stuff. Start looking at it as all you're doing is your goal is to get all of the objections. You want to get them all. You want to get them multiple times in multiple variations, because that's the only way that you're going to know how to truly overcome them and address them. And you're going to start to put together formulas, and you're going to start to have approaches, and that's how you become so good. So all this stuff is, guys, is it's practice. Your goal, if you want to be like me, I wanted to be legendary. I wanted to be introduced by people like Matt freaking Sapaula, the co-owner of one of the hottest, fastest growing freaking companies right now, and the stuff that he has going with his culture and what you guys, for those of you that follow him, man, God, like, I just tell him, like, yo, your culture for your company is off the chain. Like, the training that you guys are giving, like, to get a compliment from him to say, this guy is the king of prospecting. To get something like that, that's what I got into this game for. What are you in this game for? You got to get good. You got to be bold, and you got to make a focus to be a badass. And that doesn't happen with you sitting in your house, not going out there and practicing the stuff that we teach and getting those objections and celebrating when you get them, because all it is it's just testing. So,
man, I love it, brother. You've been so generous with your time. You've been so generous with you've been very complimentary, and you've been very inspirational, and you gave some practical how-tos. Listen, guys, I know a lot of you guys follow his content, but there's some specific things that Cesar's doing with his B10XB movement, as well as some of the free products you can get from his website. So I want you guys to make sure you visit Cesar's stuff, digest and consume his content. Cesar, talk to us about some of the things you have programmed. By the way, I'm saying this because I'm guiding it to him. If you choose to buy some products or books from him, I make $0. Yeah. This is 100% something that you guys want to do, an investment into your business. Remember last night I talked about the people are cheap in a business, never get anything out of their business. So you need to invest in your business, and this is it. So C's talked to us about some of the products and some of the tools that you help people to prospect better.
I don't know if we talked about my cold market prospecting formula. I don't have time to go into all that here because I know we're wrapping up, but I literally have a webinar that you can go to and watch for free. Actually, the free webinar shows live footage of me prospecting in the streets, breaking down the exact formula that I share. I have an entire course where I literally walk up to people, and through the eyes of hidden cameras, you actually get to watch me, like, going up to people in the mall. You know, you get to see me walking up to people in the street, you know, in strip malls, inside of department stores. Like, it's completely transparent. That training that I give my 6-step formula, and then I give live footage, and then if someone wants to be able to get the course, they can actually do it, right there. Yeah. On that webinar for this promotion that I have. So that's one thing that I would recommend everyone going to, because even if you don't buy the course and you decide not to invest, in it, it's still not a big deal, because what you get for free will be enough to have you out there immediately going, okay, now I know the 6 things. I know the 6-step formula. I need to make sure that all these elements are in every exposure process. And everyone that has gone through that course is like, the testimonials I have at this point are insane. So when you're in those moments, I want to give you guys a very simple system to help you to overcome fear, anxiety, indecision, apprehension, and doubt. Because those the 3 enemies to success, according to Napoleon Hill, are fear, indecision, and doubt. If I was to ask you what the secret to success is, Matt, like, give me some traits of successful people, what would you say?
Traits of successful people: they're passionate, committed, they're urgent,
hardworking, right? Dedicated,
willing
loyal,
to change, bro, listen.
Right? Yeah, all these things, right? You could give me a list. Every one of you guys could give me a list of all of these attributes, and then we could all vote and say, is that person going to make it? Now, you could give me all those great things, but if at the end of it, I just throw 3 things on top of it, the 3 enemies of success: fear, indecision, and doubt. And I said, okay, this hardworking, successful, determined, dedicated individual who's passionate and committed. But let me tell you something else about this person. They're also very fearful. They fear rejection. They fear what other people think. They're timid, right? If I also said to you, they're indecisive. They don't make decisions quickly. When they do, they constantly waddle. Successful people make decisions quickly and change their minds slowly, whereas unsuccessful people come to decisions very slowly, and then they change their minds very quickly. Oh, and by the way, they constantly doubt themselves, their greatness, their abilities. They approach people, from a position of weak posture because they don't have any doubt and belief. Their back is hunched over, and they're kind of like, hey, what do you think? But they're hardworking, loyal, passionate, committed. Matt, is that a person that you put your chips on? Is they're going to make it?
Yeah, it's hunched down of, man, come on, man.
That's a lot of us. A lot of people watching this. You have all these great, you're passionate, you're driven, you're this, you're that. But if you do not learn how to defeat the 3 enemies of success, fear, indecision, and doubt, you are not going to make it. You're not going to be successful. And the best way to do it is to reprogram your subconscious mind and to get your subconscious mind to start working for you and with you, to propel you out of your comfort zone, to seize those opportunities. So the way that you do that, the way that you overcome that is I'm going to give you a simple trick. Anytime you feel fear, indecision, or doubt, you just ask yourself, you have to interrupt that pattern of negative thinking. And the way that you do it is by asking yourself a question, because your brain cannot continue to puke and spew all over you if you're asking your brain a question. So the question, it was, what would you do if you were 10 times bolder?
Come on.
Whatever you think about it, the game and the challenge of B10XB, whatever you come up with in that moment, you have to do it because your brain will give you an answer.
Yep.
And in that moment, it's like, well, if you were 10 times bolder, you'd walk right up to him. Don't think the weakness is going to stop. Walk right up to him. What are you going to say? I got 10 steps. I'll figure it out. Now, if you don't do it, Matt, we talked about why. It's because you've got that pain association to getting out of your comfort zone. Remember, I said I would teach you how to rewire your subconscious mind. Here's how you do it. You have to link pain to not being bold. So whenever you don't take advantage of that opportunity, you grab a little rubber wristband. You can get a rubber band or one of these B10XB wristbands right here. Okay. What you do is you take this little rubber wristband, you pull back, and you snap on your wrist. And what ends up happening is every time you don't do the thing, like if I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to that guy, we'll go talk to him. And I was like, well, nah. And I made some excuse. Pop! And what it does is it links pain to not being bold. Now, after enough painful snaps, the way that your brain works, because you're wired to move towards pleasure and away from pain, the next time that happens and you're in one of those situations, your brain, after enough painful snaps, will get the link, and your subconscious mind your brain will literally create new neural pathways to what it associates pain and pleasure with. And then it will start to associate pain with not taking those bolder actions. So the next time you're at one of those fork in the road moments, or the next time you're tempted to wuss out and take the weaker path, instead of you being paralyzed, you will find that your brain will now be on your side and it will propel you to take the bolder path. It's going to happen immediately. You won't even maybe have to look. You'll just see the opportunity to be like, it's pleasure to be bold because it's pain not to. And after you start acting with boldness, because you become what you think about, repeatedly do, if you continuously act and do the things that you deem to be 10 times bolder moves for you in your life, if you continuously do that, what do you eventually become? You become a 10 times bolder version of your already awesome self. So the 3 things that are holding you back right now, the fear, the indecision, and the doubt, those are conquered. Boldness defeats them all, right? So that's how to become a 10 times bolder version of yourself. You guys have got it. It's just a matter of you lifting and getting over the 3 enemies of success. So that way there is no obstacle for you to be able to freaking have success. We have to get those 3 things off you. And the only way is to commit to being a 10 times bolder version of yourself. You need to be bolder. And that little game that you play every single day, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? Every time you make a phone call, every time you do anything, anytime you feel fear, decision, hesitation, doubt, ask yourself the question.
Cesar, I appreciate your time and attention. And for those who've been watching this, again, at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight, we're going to be selecting the winner who shared this video the most. The obstacle is the way book, developing leaders around you, and the leadership quotes to help build your daily affirmations. And if some of you got to think about this, oftentimes I got a lot of military veterans checking this out. Some people that are frustrated with their job, checking our YouTube channel, checking our Facebook live videos. They're not in business with me, but they're considering entrepreneurship or they're considering business. Connect with us because we can help you apply these techniques that Cesar Rodriguez is teaching in terms of prospecting into a platform, into a product and service that can help build you a 6-figure income, or in my case, a 7-figure income. I've been doing this now for 20 years.
Talk about it.
A lot of people get this stuff done too as well. And so, guys, if you've been watching Cesar, make sure you follow his stuff. Cesar, man, I appreciate your time, man. Very generous, man.
Dude, absolutely. What's that?
You're such a giver.
Such a giver. Dude, so are you. That's why I wanted to be here, man. I was just like, dude, how could the 2 of us together not change some amazing lives, man? So I'm so grateful for the opportunity anytime I get a chance to see your people or interact with them, because I mean I see them all the time from following you on Instagram. I see these circles of these people and these offices and these meetings that are just jam-packed, standing room only, and I'm like, yo, you guys have got an amazing culture. You've got it hype. Yo, Matt is in the streets, getting it there, making the appearances. I mean, he's out there helping to change lives, man. And I love to get behind that. And, you know, maybe one day, Matt, I'll get a chance to get in front of all of your people at an event one day. Sure. And I will really lean in and give you guys some powerful stuff, because this has been fun. And I already can tell that you've got some of the coolest people following you, because I've seen the comments here. I've seen the stuff that you guys are saying. Thank you for all of the love. You know, and hopefully maybe one day I'll get a chance to meet some of you guys, shake your hand, take some pictures, you know, with the B10XB band too. You can say, yo, I'm a part of the movement.
I love it. Very cool, man. If you've been watching this on Facebook, make sure you click our business page, click like, and follow. The next time we post a new video, we'll go live with a new video. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe and join the Money Smart Movement channel. So that being said, guys, on behalf of Cesar Rodriguez, I'm your Money Smart guy. Thanks for tuning in. And until we meet again, continue to live smart, continue to love smart, and be money smart today. Have a good day, everybody. Cesar, thanks, brother.
Hey, man, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Bro.